Hi, welcome to 151 Garage. I'm Sean.
I'm Jill.
And today, Jill's going to do all the work. Mine is taking this thing off, and I'll show you what that is later. It's probably the worst part of this job. So, a couple videos ago, we put on a A-arm armor on. There's skid plates for the A-arm armor for the front of her Badlands. Today we're going to work on the back. We are going to install these, and what these are skids for the rear struts. Now, one of the things that we've noticed with the rear struts is they're very nice, but the armor is somewhat lacking. Armor, skid plates, whatever you want to call them, bash plates, as Jeep guys call them. We want to protect the suspension as much as possible. And there is a section of the shock or the strut that actually is very susceptible to damage. This right here will provide a little bit more added coverage, protection for that area. And we'll go ahead and we'll show you what it is when we get out there. But, you know, these are from JC Off-Road. Again, very well packaged. We actually have another set, don't ask. I ordered 2 by accident. Again, but they'll go on another vehicle. We'll put it on the Badland or the Black Diamond or something, Big Ben, one of them. Multiple Broncos. Unless I order 4 of something, I'm screwed. I still have other Broncos to put it on. Yeah. Anyways, what they do is they bolt in through the bottom bolt underneath, and they have a video out of installing them, and just their video is good. Their video, don't get me wrong, the video is good, but it doesn't show the normal thing of what people are going to do. They have it on a lift. We do not. I wish I had it on a lift because it makes it so much better.
It would really make your life easier if you had a lift.
Yeah.
We have it on jack stands with the wheel off. Now you don't have to take the wheel off. We're only doing it for filming purposes.
I suggest you do. I will contradict that. I suggest you do. Yeah, I'll show you just how hard it is to break the torque. Now,
yeah, because you have to get the leverage on it.
Yeah. Now we did break the torque. It is extremely high torque. You can use an impact wrench, but even JCR Off-Road did not use an impact wrench to take the break the torque. It is like 350 foot-pounds, something like that, some god-awful amount. I don't think my impact wrench could take it. It is a old Craftsman impact wrench, and most people don't have the impact wrench to be able to break that torque. That's going to be an enormous amount more money to be able to do that. Plus, a lot of people don't have a compressor just sitting there waiting. Electric impact wrenches, I don't think so. Unless you got a massive impact wrench, I don't think you're going to be able to do it. You're going to have to do it with leverage and
sheer determination.
She wouldn't be able to do it. I'll tell you that right now. She would not be able to do it. I had to put all my strength into it to break the torque, even with the extension about that long. And I'll show you once we get out there what we had to do to break the torque.
The nut size is a 27 millimeter.
Yeah, it's 27. So to go through some of the things, and we'll go through it at the end too. The nut to break the torque is a 27 millimeter. The hardware, obviously, to take the lugs off is 19 millimeter, and all the millimeters for that, I have no idea because I haven't even gotten the wrenches out for that yet. So the nice thing with this is it does come with all the hardware separated into 2 bags. At least mine did. This is for one side, that's for the other. Interchangeable, doesn't matter. Now, it does go through that bolt. Obviously, it'll go up there, bolt goes through, nut goes on this side, and then the washer will go on the other side. So it's kind of neat how it goes. We will show you once we get out there. Okay? Okay.
This time I'll be on a creeper.
Okay, so first things first, we did put this on a jack. It's to hold the frame. And this right here is the jack that holds the rear suspension. The reason being is because you're taking this off. If you take this off,
and that's not under it, it will drop and hit the ground. We're trying to avoid that. We're also trying to avoid this being pulled out or anything like that. You don't have to remove the bolt completely. You have to remove the bolt about that much. So there's a couple threads sticking out. Also, for safety wise, I always put the tire underneath the car, because if some reason the jack fails, maybe you have a Harbor Freight jack stand, you know how those are, that's to extra protection. Also, we have 1, 2, 3 wheels chalked. Again, this is on a slope a little bit, not much, but 3 wheels chalked, 1 wheel under, and then 2 jack stands. Now, so before we start installing the item from JCR, I did want to show you guys what we're protecting. So right now we have this right here. This is part of the strut, and what we need to do is to make sure this doesn't get damaged. Now it does have like a thick rubber pad over it, but that's not going to do any good if you crawl across a rock. Obviously, you slide this way and hit right here, you're going to have to drag whatever you're going over under this to go through. Obviously that's not good with all the hardware right there. And also this, we want to support not only across the sides or across the span, also protect the bottom portion of the strut and also the strut itself. Now what this does is this covers not only this but goes up, so if you do hit something, it can slide down and go over it without damaging the shock itself or the strut itself. So now, before we go to installing it, there is one piece that is kind of in there that you really don't know why. This is why. It's just a giant washer is all it is. It's a giant washer. But if you look right here, it's an indent. You can see it right there. So if you put this on and tighten it up, it's going to pull that whole thing in and deform this whole plate. What this does is make sure that everything here is flush all the way across, so it's nice and flush. So when we install the nut on the back side, it won't have an issue. So, go ahead, Jill. Now what she did is she installed it, but she had to go all the way down to where she could slide it on at an angle and then tilt it upwards to protect this. And the reason being is you really can't just put it on there, because there is another piece, which here I'll show in just a second. Now these are extremely tight fit, so.
Yeah, they are.
That's not the one. You're gonna.
This is 19, right?
It's 19, but it's not the one you need.
Oh, I need
Look behind you. Look behind you.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. The hardest thing is being able to put all this back here. So we'll see if Jill can do it.
This is probably the hardest portion, is trying to put this on. It can be done by one person. I'm just helping her out for brute force, I guess is all it is. And the fish out nuts out of the bottom of the thing.
I have a kill for a lift.
If somebody wants to sponsor us for a lift, we'll gladly take it. Want me to get it?
Yes. I got it. Unless you can do it blind. Ugh.
Can you get the nut out at least? Since I'm kind of going backwards. Okay. Hand me that wrench. Wrench.
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, I got it. It's not going to go anywhere.
There you go. Oh. You can show me that before?
Hey. You can see how well it works for me. Oh, my kingdom for a thing of beeswax right now. I'd love it. Okay, move. Let me get underneath it that way so I can see. You know what we are going to do? We're going to put the one underneath it on first. So,
Underneath it.
yeah, there's 2 bolts. Reason being, now you don't have a bolt in the way.
Oh, true. Didn't think about that.
Okay, you can there you go. Tight. Well, not tight, but you know what I'm talking about.
Snug.
Yeah,
enough.
snug enough. So I'll let you do the next one.
Okay, that's over there. It's over there by that big nut.
So like I said, put the washer in there. It should be easier for this one. It's a little bit closer. Then that goes in there. I need to order some beeswax. So if you guys don't know what beeswax is, it's something we use in the military to hold the hardware in when we go to tighten it. You can hold it like this and it doesn't fall out. I'll order some and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about and what the benefits of it are. It's stuff I learned over years in the military and also in the job I work right now. So there you go.
Okay. If I can do this.
Oh, you can do it.
is a very close tolerance for it, so just thread it in a little bit until it sticks out of the other side. So you get enough that you can put the washer on, plus a little bit. Get it going in?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, perfect. So you should be able to get the washer on there from both sides. It's a little bit easier with that one. I'll get this like this. Like that. Now put that on the inside portion of that bracket, and then you can slide it kind of forward.
I don't think that's gonna go anywhere, is it?
No, it's not going to go anywhere. This, though, you do need to put the nut on the back side of this before you tighten these up. Make sure everything's tight before you go anyplace else. That'll fall, though.
That's what I was asking.
No, I was thinking about this. No, that's going to move. You got to hold this. But here's this.
For what?
You're going to tighten this up to be able to put this bolt on. Just a little bit. Just so I can put the bolt on.
I still have to tighten the other one.
Don't tighten it up yet. You need to put this nut on before you tighten anything else up, or else you're going to be fighting with this nut, and this nut's worse than the other two.
Oh.
So remember, all the hardware installed before you do any kind of torquing down. Or else you're going to be fighting with stuff later on.
Okay, work. Now you can do, this should actually tighten itself almost, because it has the washer or the lock nut on there. So if you use the open end on the back side, you'll be able to get it without having to do that. Now the reason being, here, let me show them something.
Okay.
Let me have this. If you put the box inside on it, you might not be able to get that completely off. The open inside leaves you the ability to actually pull it out, pull this out without getting locked in place. So beware of that if you're not paying attention. It happens to me every once in a while.
Hold the wrench. No, the wrench.
Oh.
Okay, I'll give you your strengths.
Hang on a second.
Can you get that thing stuck?
There you go. Last thing, I'll torque this. She doesn't have the strength to do that.
Oh
so
no, there's no way.
I'll torque it as much as I can, then I'll get the breaker bar out and torque it the rest of the way. This is something like 350 foot-pounds or something like that. It's ungodly. We'll torque it after we drive it around a couple days and come back and retorque everything. That's about it. This right here is exactly what we're looking for. We're talking about. It's an armor that protects the vulnerable parts of the car, especially the underside. Really easy to put on. The most difficult part is braking and torquing the bolt right here, which is the one that goes through the bottom of your strut. So it's extremely high torque. Mm-hmm. So make sure you go to the manual and see what the torque is, or contact Ford to find out what the torque is, whichever. It changes all the time. You never know. One day it could be 350, the next day it's 300. Who knows? But did a good job. No creeper. Now she has that side to do. We'll do it off camera. Mm-hmm. I'll throw this back on. We'll come back in just a second.
So the other side went a lot quicker than the passenger side.
Yeah, I wasn't in her way, so she did all this work except for the torque on the final one. Obviously, that is, I can barely do it. I needed a little help, so I got a breaker bar extension. Now we ended up doing the same thing as the other side. Obviously you can tell there's 2 jack stands, one to hold the frame, one to hold the axle itself. Now it does tell you to torque it under load. Now this right here is under load. I just took the tire off to break the torque and to show you guys what's going on. If I lift this up just barely to remove that jack right there is off the frame. So it is under load. Make sure you, when you torque it, you do torque it under load. Now, again, you have 1, 2, 3 wheel chocks. Obviously one for every tire that's on the ground. And the 2 jacks and the tire underneath. Now, we do suggest do with 2 people. This can be done with 1, but since you are working under the vehicle, make sure there's somebody around, because the last thing you want to do is be trapped under the vehicle or injured or killed by the vehicle falling on you and being under there for a prolonged period of time. With somebody there, they can
at least be of some kind of assistance.
Yeah, steal your wallet, whatever. Really? But again, be safe. Make sure there's somebody there when we're working under the vehicle or working like something like this. You never work by yourself, especially with it sitting up high. With that, it was actually fairly easy. It wasn't bad.
No, it's very quick. I mean, once you get it down, it's like, what, no more than 10 minutes?
Yeah, if that. The longest part is breaking the torque, or figuring out how to break the torque on that gigantic nut that
if you don't have a lift.
On. If you don't have a lift. If you have a lift, it's going to be a lot easier. If you don't have a lift,
it's going to take a while.
It's going to take a breath or 2. Let's just leave it at that. I'm out of breath by retorquing it because I don't have a lift to put it on. I kind of have to use leverage. But I do like it. How do you like it?
I think it's going to be really good. It's going to protect that reservoir that's right here, as well as when it rains or gets dirt or anything, it'll fly out the back.
Yeah.
It has an
well, again,
as it's sitting in an angle, it will hit that and drag it down rather than rubbing across your shock.
Yeah.
Strut and stuff. Now,
thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy it. Again, we try to show you what the realistic version of putting some of this stuff on. I see a lot of people put them on these gigantic lifts, or, you know, have all these tools. A lot of people don't have that. The realistic thing is probably not even what I have, because if you see my toolbox, I'll have to show you a picture of my toolbox someday.
Yeah,
it's absolutely
huge.
Massive. It's probably one of the best things I've ever bought for my garage.
No, it is the best thing you ever bought for your garage.
Anyways, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and
don't forget, on buckyourbronco.com, use the code 151, the word 5 in between the
we'll put it down
number
below.
ones. Yeah, we'll put it down below. That way you get it right. Anyway, for 10% off your GoPro or
your mounts and stuff, your rail mounts.
accessories.
Again, we helped him with a lot of stuff. He sent us one, and we'll show you a video later on. Keep in touch with that. 3,000 subscribers, we do a giveaway.
Have a giveaway. Mm-hmm.
So
between a tap or a bam.
So like, subscribe, and
hit that bell,
bye.
and drop a comment.
Bye.
Bye.